Hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot. This is the tarot reading for serious tarot readers in serious times. We're not going to do the unicorns or rainbows or any of that other kind of stuff that tarot readers generally do these days. Most of the readings are, in my opinion, and I've done tarot for over 20 years, most of the tarot readings are very shallow. They're very myopic and really not very useful, not practical. Tarot is the science of potential. It's not a guarantee, it's potential. For example, you see on your screen now 5 cards. That's all you're going to see. I'm not going to add. They're not going to spin around. They're not going to stand on their heads. They're not, no movement, no nothing. You're not going to see me. I want you to focus on the idea, the frequency. Okay? That's what's important. Because you have to make a connection with that frequency if you can. Don't force it, but you have to make a connection. Most of the time, you won't. During the reading, which lasts about 12, 13 minutes, something like that, you'll get some interesting information because I do a brand new read every day, 365. Doesn't make any difference about holidays. I'm more focused on you and inspiring you to manifest. But expecting to resonate with the reading every day is a mistake. Very often, and I don't care if this is astrological readings, and I've done astrology for over 50 years. Astrology, by the way, is the science of cycles, and I do mean science. Tarot is the science, and I do mean science of frequency, of energy, potential. Okay? It's not a guarantee. With astrology, if you're good at reading cycles within cycles within cycles within cycles, and I've never run into anybody who's that good, and I've run into some pretty damn good astrologers in my time, it's too complicated. But at least you got trends, things that you can depend on. For example, the United States right now is going through its second Pluto return. In other words, the planet Pluto is at this place in the zodiac, July 4th, 1776. 250 years later, because it takes that long, 250 years later, it is now at that same spot. Now, back in 1776, what did we have? Revolution. What do we have in the United States now? Revolution. Different, but really the same. We're talking about our freedom. And whatever I believe, whatever we do here will have repercussions around the world. Not because we're going to make them happen, but because it'll send out an energy. A frequency. What that energy is, what that frequency is, we're going to find out. Election is just a couple of days away. And I don't even think then, after the election, that we're going to have solved anything. I think this thing's going to drag out as a battle of one way or another for the next 6 months to a year. It's going to be messy. But the same thing is up for stake as it was back in 1776. 250 years later, Pluto comes back to the same spot. Revolution again. Freedom again. Okay. With astrology, you can do that. With tarot, it's, well, there's a potential here for a personal revolution. But you got to resonate. You got to make the connection. Not everybody does. You put 10 people in a room here, I read the reading, 9 of the 10 are not going to have that connection. 1 person out of the 10 will. That's normal. Even if you do an astrology reading, that's the same kind of numbers. But that's okay. We're going to do another tarot reading tomorrow, next week, next month. But eventually, that energy, that frequency of the reading will connect with you. When it does, don't even question it. Just go. But until then, pick up any inspiration that you can. That's a plus. That's a positive. So we have the whole lineup. Only 5 cards. I don't want to mess things up. I want to focus, focus, focus. Middle card, Oracle card, sets the mood. It's happy, happy. The number up in the right-hand corner is 26. 2 means decision. 6 means the beginning of manifesting. 2 and 6 means 8. That does mean manifesting. So you, if you're connecting, are having a chance to manifest something tangibly in your life. Not some hairy-fairy philosophical idea, actually grounded in reality, 3D. probably based on a 5D, but it will materialize in 3D. Happy, happy. Now, does it mean that you're going to be happy? Remember, tarot is the science of potential. No, it has the potential for happiness. That's the goal, to work in that direction. It's not a guarantee. It is your destination. The meme for today kind of helps out a little bit. And the meme is, gratitude is nourishment for the soul when there's no food in sight. That says it all. Because that's what's happening throughout the world today. People want gratitude. People want peace. People want a more enjoyable life experience. And across the world, we're seeing it taken away. Now, we are, for the most part, voluntarily giving it up, because when you're doing a damn thing, and if you don't fight for it, you lose it. And that's the way it should be. But that's why this election in the next couple of days here in the United States is so important, because it's going to really clarify things. Right now, things appear to be pretty clarified, polar opposites. But it's going to get messier than that. And it will take the same thing it took 250 years ago when Pluto was in this same spot before, when the United States was declaring its Declaration of Independence. It takes a few people to stand up and go, hell no. And not just stand up, back it up with action. And that's where we are now. That's where we are now. And that's why the next 6 months to a year is going to be messy. Because we will have a kind of civil war, not like the one back in the 1860s, a different civil war. But we're going to have a kind of civil war here. What comes from it will impact the rest of the world. People are going for happy, happy. That does not mean, please, it's going to be an easy life. It doesn't mean that everything is just going to come up roses. It doesn't mean that you won't have to make efforts and sacrifice again. It doesn't mean that. It means that you will have gratitude for the potential of a happy, happy life, where you can carry on a life that means something, that's purposeful. Not perfect, but purposeful. Literally, it's happy trails. There was a song, Roy Rogers and Dale Rogers, husband and wife team back in the 40s and 50s. Very popular cowboy. And their theme song was Happy Trails to You Until We Meet Again. Sorry for the singing. I apologize. Somebody's probably eating. But that's kind of a rough idea. Very popular. Even Van Halen did a take of it back in the 80s. I mean, it's a cool sound and a cool tune. And that's kind of where we're heading with this reading. That's what you're going for. Well, let's figure out how we're going to get there. All the way to the left, we have the Ace of Pentacles. You will have a tremendous opportunity to reconfigure your materiality, reconfigure your sense of values, where they really mean something. It's not somebody else telling you, the government telling you how you have to act, or society telling you how you have to act. Doesn't mean you have to be an asshole about this. You know what I mean. Whatever it takes to help you grow and develop as a positive, productive member of society with your own individuality is what you're headed for. That's the happy, happy. Am I just existing, or am I living? If you're living, it's happy trails. If you're just existing, and that's where we find ourselves right now. We've done everything we've been told to do. You get the job, you try to save the money, but you can't, because you're not in control of the money. The people aren't in control of the money. The puppet masters are squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, because they want 9 out of 10 people to be dead by 2050. They've said so, point blank. Bill Gates, that Klaus von Nazi of the WEF, and other people. We got 8 billion people on the planet right now, give or take. By 2050, they say they want less than 500 million. You do the math. You do the math. Oh, how are they going to accomplish some of this? Bill Gates said at a get-together, a TED get-together, I think it was in 2008, vaccinations. He said so a long time ago. So it's up to you right now to take that, if it's resonating, to do that happy trails thing. And you do that by changing your sense of values. You move from where you are. You take what you know is true. Truth is painful because it holds with it accountability. Yeah, everybody wants freedom. I want my freedom. I want my freedom. But they don't do a damn thing for it. And then they take advantage of it. You got to earn it. Just like the people did in 1776. They fought for their freedom. And then they fought for it, they got it, and then, in fact, it's kind of interesting, coming out of the constitutional meeting where they signed the Constitution Declaration of Independence, somebody ran into Ben Franklin and said, "Oh, did you give us a monarchy or do we have something else?" Ben Franklin said, "We've given you a republic if you can keep it." Life is participatory. We've been dumbed it down to think it's automatic. It ain't. That was a control mechanism. If they can dumb you down to make you wait for them to give you something, you're screwed. We see that now. Didn't see it. It took 250 years, but we're finally seeing it. For some people, it's too much to put up with, but too bad. That's life. So with a new sense of values, you are moving out of the old thought patterns. You are moving with gratitude. You know what you're looking for, a more loving, and by that I mean loving yourself. And that doesn't mean narcissism. Narcissism is self-hate. Subsequently, they hate and destroy everything around them. The Nine of Cups says that you see what it is that would fill your heart. You see what would give you the satisfaction. You see a fulfilling life, a purposeful life. You're not there, but you got the vision. The key is the final card, Ace of Cups. Loving yourself in a very positive, productive way. Because the better you feel about you, the better you feel about the people around you. And we all begin to do that kind of thing, and it is happy trails. Yeah, happy. Remember, gratitude is nourishment for the soul when there's no food in sight. Find the gratitude. Take the journey. Happy trails. That's the Tao reading for today. Back tomorrow with another manifested reading. Between now and the next time you and I manifest together, peace and blessings.